Idaho and Montana. So as the Metropolitan, I speak to all of you. And I want you to carry back for me to all of your councils and assemblies, whether here in the Archdiocese or in the Diocese of Baker City, my sincere gratitude, my sincere, heartfelt gratitude to all of the Knights of Columbus and their families for all that you do to support the work and the mission of the Church. Everything you do to support your bishops, to support your pastors in the sometimes difficult work of shepherding God's holy people. And I know that those relationships aren't always easy, but I admire and I applaud your perseverance, your patience, your understanding, your respect, and the great affection that you have for your priests. It means a lot to us, and I speak on behalf of all my brother priests. I cannot tell you how much it means to many of us to know that you guys are there, and as they say, you guys got our back. I just want to express that to you. You know, I've been a Knight of Columbus for a long time. I don't know quite honestly for how many years, but you know, at least 25 in fourth degree. And I have a great love for my brothers. I address you as brothers, certainly as the Archbishop, but even more so as brothers in this great order of ours. And I want to thank you this year in a very special way for all that you have done to implement the family program here throughout the state of Oregon. And I know that it wasn't easy, and there was a lot that was placed upon your shoulders of responsibility. And I know that you didn't get cooperation, quite honestly, everywhere, and I'm aware of that. And quite honestly, I'm a little saddened by any places where you ran into any obstacles or difficulties in trying to implement the program in your councils and in your parishes. But nevertheless, you guys gave it a yeoman's effort, and I'm very grateful for everything that you're doing. This is a time, I think, in the history of the Church when we all, and when I say all, I mean the whole Church, we need to focus our attention on marriage and family life. I really believe that's sort of the call of our time. You know, every time in the history of the Church presents its own unique challenges, its struggles, depending on what is happening in the world around us. You know, you look across the history of the Church, and certainly long before Father Michael McGivney founded our great order, the Church has faced tremendous challenges from the times of the apostles to our own day. And in every age, the Church rises to the challenge. The Church steps up to address the difficulties and challenges, even the problems of our time. I think in our time, in the days in which we are living, I think the true, I'm not an alarmist, but I think the true crisis that exists in marriage and family life is where we are being called to address our attention as a church and therefore as an order. And I really, that's my appeal to you this year. Not just with the family program, but we wait and see what comes from the Synod of Bishops on the pastoral challenge of the family in modern time. But whatever direction your bishops give you, your pastors give you to support marriage and family life, I ask you to rally behind us and to do everything we can to defend marriage as it comes to us from the hand of the Creator, not as some would try to redefine it, and to support families that are struggling, families that are having difficulties in the marriage relationship, in relationship with children, economic challenges that face some of our families. Whatever it is, we need to support and strengthen our families. The family is the domestic church. What does that mean, the domestic church? It's the church in the home. And it is the fundamental unit or cell, if you will, of the society in which we live, but even more so of the church. strong families, strong marriages make for strong parishes, strong councils and assemblies, and it makes for a strong local church. And so that's where it all begins. We can't have healthy parishes. We can't have a healthy church unless we have healthy families. So we need to reach out in any way we can to support marriage, to support family life in our day. And I know the Knights of Columbus will do this. Under the leadership of our Supreme Knight, Carl Anderson, who I had the opportunity to at least smile and nod my head at on Thursday. I was in Chicago for the funeral of our beloved former Archbishop here in Portland, Cardinal Francis George. And as I was processing out, the Supreme Knight was there on the aisle, and we nodded at each other and smiled at least. But I know that he's calling us to this task. Believe me, I suspect when things happen at the Synod this fall, I suspect that the Supreme Knight and the Supreme Council will truly call us to do efforts here. So I think really, brothers, this is the call of our time. You know, we talk about all kinds of crises and vocations, and I appreciate the support the Knights give to vocations, to priesthood and religious life. But that's not where the real crisis is, the vocation crisis. The real vocation crisis is in marriage. You know, where so many of our young people, quite honestly, choose not to marry. And we know that so many marriages in divorce and so many difficulties and struggles. You know, we'll have vocations to priesthood and we'll have vocations to healthy, strong marriages if we have strong families from which those vocations will come. And so I really believe that Pope Benedict XVI said that the crisis is really, in family, is largely a crisis of faith. Largely a crisis of faith, living our faith, being committed to our Catholic faith, unapologetically, unreservedly, docile to the teachings of Christ in His church. This is what we need from all of you. And that's what our world needs today, strong, faithful witness. And that's what Christ asks us. And to close with one thing. And in this whole effort at marriage and family life, I challenge you all to pray individually and in your families, and in your councils, and in your assemblies, and in your gatherings, the Holy Rosary, for families, to appeal to our Blessed Mother, the Mother of the Word incarnate, St. Joseph, the most chaste spouse, and the Word incarnate himself, Jesus Christ, the child of Nazareth, to pray the Rosary, and pray with the intention to strengthen and to promote marriage and family life as God has willed it for our time, that marriage and family will truly become what it needs to be in our time. Thank you, brothers, for all that you do. Thank you for your hospitality at your convention. Viva Jesus.
Viva Jesus.